So what is Openclaw? It's your all-in-one AI personal assistant. Not a chatbot, not a toy, an actual assistant that does things. Anything you can do on your computer, it can do. Manage your calendar, post your socials, track your competitors, summarize your email. Basically, it's 3 interns in a trench coat, except it doesn't ask for coffee. Coffee's mine. And here's the part that makes it different. Openclaw doesn't live in some random website you'll forget about in a week. It lives where you live. Discord is there, Telegram, it's there, WhatsApp, it's there. Just talk to it in the apps you already have, and it goes and does the thing you ask it to do. No new tabs, no new apps, no new logins, no friction. It's like having a real AI assistant, because that's what it is. But what am I using it for? Well, I'm going to show you. But sit back, grab a coffee, a Red Bull, or whatever you're on. Let's start with research. Deep research takes time. As a creator, you need to know what's trending before everybody else. You need to pull from multiple sources, figure out what's actual signal and what's just noise. So I got Openclaw to build something to do it for me. No more guessing what to make videos about. This thing runs every single day and tells me exactly what my competitors are posting, what people are searching for, and how hard it is to rank for those terms, whether a topic is growing or dying, basically. Here's how it works. Every morning, Openclaw checks a list of YouTube channels I've chosen to monitor. It pulls every new video they've posted in the last 24 hours. It reads the titles and descriptions of those videos and pulls out every meaningful keyword and phrase, filtering out all the filler words like how, the, best, etc. Automatically, like stripping that stuff out. Only the stuff that actually means something. It takes those keywords and checks them against Google Trend. If a term jumped 30% this week, it gets flagged as a rising term. For each keyword, it checks YouTube and counts how many videos already exist for that search term. That gives me a difficulty score. Under 500 videos, green light. Over 5,000, going to be a fight. Everything gets saved to a database, every term, every score, every channel it came from. I can track how things move over time. Openclaw built me a dashboard which I can open in a browser, and I can search the table, trend charts, competitor videos. So I've got everything in one place. Then every morning it sends me a daily report, posted straight to Discord. So I see it the moment I wake up. And the whole thing, I can tell it to track a new term, ignore a word, or add a new competitor channel. And it just does it automatically. I don't need to touch any code, just runs on autopilot. And it's way more accurate than digging through YouTube every morning. Next up is my personal knowledge base, my second brain. This is one of my favorites. You know that feeling you're in the shower and you have an amazing idea. By the time you get out and open your phone, it's completely gone. Or you bookmarked that article 3 months ago and now you're trying to find it in a sea of bookmarks. Or what if instead of asking ChatGPT and getting some generic internet answer, you could ask any one of your favorite mentors and get a direct response on exactly the issue you're facing. That's what we built. Let me show you how it works. So this is my second brain, the knowledge base. Credit to Matthew Berman for this one. So here's how content gets in. Paste a web URL, a YouTube URL, pick the topic and hit ingest. Behind the scenes, 3 things are happening. It will download the full YouTube transcript, everything said in the video, into text, then breaks this up into chunks. Think of it like breaking up a book into index cards. Then it converts these index cards into fingerprints. It's a way for the computer to understand what each piece of text means and how it relates to the overall picture. These fingerprints get saved to my local database, so nothing's stored in the cloud or goes off my system apart from the final question. So when I ask a question, it runs 2 searches at the same time. One looks for chunks that mean something similar, even if the exact words are totally different. And the other looks for chunks that literally contain the exact words I typed. Then a second AI steps in. It reads the top results side by side with my question and picks the 5 that actually answer it best. Those go to Claude. Claude writes the answers only using that context. The whole thing runs on your laptop. The search part is completely free and local. The only cost is that last part where it's sent off to Claude. This cost me a couple of cents per question, and the more I feed it videos, articles, research notes, the better the answers come over time. I also get the answer and the source it pulled the answer from, so I can refer back to that. This knowledge base is just getting smarter and smarter. Quick thing before we roll on to the next one. If you are actually interested in building real businesses with AI, I've got some full breakdowns coming soon. I spent thousands of hours figuring out and testing these different AI systems and using them to build businesses that run completely on AI. This system actually gives you financial freedom. It's the stuff that lets me travel the world and earn 10 times my old yearly salary. So smash that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you hear about this on day one when it comes out and not 6 months down the line. All right, let's roll on. Lead generation. That's important, right? Every single day while I'm sleeping, my AI is out there finding people who need exactly what I sell. It even writes replies for me. No ads, no cold outreach, no guessing, just warm leads delivered to my inbox every month. Let me show you how it works. Most people growing a service-based business on YouTube are doing it all wrong. They post a video, they wait, they post another video, they wait some more. Here's the thing, people that want your service and need your help, they're already out there asking questions, looking for help. Right now, if you went and looked through YouTube comments and Reddit threads, I bet you could find 10 perfect customers. They're just asking them on somebody else's channel or in different forums. So I got Openclaw to build a system to find them automatic every single day. Here's how it works. System searches YouTube every 24 hours using keywords related to my niche. Things like Openclaw, Claw Code, NoCode app. It finds these videos and pulls the top comments. Then it runs them through a bunch of filters. Is it a question? No, it's gone. Is it in English? No, it's gone. So every comment goes through these sets of filters, and at the end, I've just got a bunch of warm leads that are looking for exactly what I helped. What's left are real people asking real questions about the exact thing I can help them. Now, here's where the AI comes in, and I love this part. Every lead gets sent to Gemini, and Gemini does two things. It writes a natural, helpful response. No sales pitch, no marketing gimmicks, just a genuinely useful response. And that opens the door for a conversation. Second, it picks the top 10 most actionable leads and sends them directly to me for review. Warm leads from people who are already searching for our service, delivered to my inbox every single day. All I need to do is just show up. And the best part about it, this whole system costs almost nothing to operate. All right, next up is content creation. So Openclaw takes one YouTube video and turns it into a newsletter, tweet thread, LinkedIn posts, and an email sequence that converts while I sleep. Most creators hit publish and move on. That's leaving money on the table. Every video I make has enough value for a full week of content across every platform. Just needed to build a system to pull it out. Let me walk you through it. Once a video is live, Openclaw grabs the transcript. This transcript is the raw material for everything else. First, it creates a newsletter. Not a copy and paste job. It rewrites the key insights for readers, not watchers. It's tighter, more skimmable, and uses a slightly different hook. Same value, but in a different format. And that goes out weekly on our newsletter platform. Next, X or Twitter. One video gives me 3 to 5 standalone tweets and a tweet thread. Those go deeper on the main topic, and it's scheduled throughout the week, so it doesn't all land at once. LinkedIn gets a slightly different angle. Same insights, but written for a different audience. Someone scrolling between meetings, not a creator browsing for tips. Now here's where it gets interesting. My best videos feed into my email sequences. And someone signs up, they get a welcome email. Then follow-ups on day 3, 5, 7, 12, for example. And this builds trust over time. So content I made 6 months ago is still converting subscribers and views today. Every content creator has some version of this. I've just automated it with Openclaw. Next up is analytics. And this is my favorite use case for Openclaw. Most people set goals and forget them or just never achieve them. Today, I'm going to show you the system that Openclaw built to track mine and actually hold myself accountable. Everything starts here. These are my goals. 100k subscribers, lose 10 kilograms, first Skool subscriber, and first SaaS subscriber for a new product we're building. Each goal has tasks underneath it and the specific actions that actually make the difference. You can break big tasks into smaller tasks so nothing feels overwhelming. Every day I come to the task page and it tells me exactly what I need to do. Gym, steps, calories, deep focus work, it's all right there. I just need to show up. The dashboard gives me a bird's eye view. The habit heat map map shows my consistency over the last 7 days. Green means done, red means missed. There's no hiding from the data. Once a month I do a review and we can see which agents are helping me achieve these goals. If I'm on track, do I need to adjust and break tasks into smaller tasks, or is there a faster way to achieve my goals? I discuss it with Openclaw, write down some notes, and we set the next review day. That one habit alone changed how I move towards my goals. That's the whole system. Goals, daily tasks, habit tracking, metrics, and regular reviews. Everything in one place. Nothing slipping through the cracks. And we can see if the agents are actually adding value to these different goals we're trying to achieve. Right? Last but not least is competitor analysis. If you're building a product, you need to know what your competitors are doing. Not just once, but consistently. Today I'm going to show you how we track competitor activity. For each competitor, we add their profile links. YouTube, X, LinkedIn, Instagram. Every morning at 6 a.m. the system runs and pulls all the competitors' posts. Video titles, published links, dates, etc. I've then got a full view of everything our competitors are posting about. I can filter by topic or platform. It's a raw intelligence feed of everything our competitors are posting. What are the latest terms, topics, what's going on in our niche basically. And this is where patterns become visible. I can immediately see how many posts each competitor puts out, broken down by the platform, daily activity charts, when there's new tech that's come out or a new feature, or when someone suddenly ramps up. It's also a signal. And that's the full loop. You add your competitors, let it run, check the dashboard Openclaw built, and that's it. Okay, so you get the idea. You can do a lot of things very well, but how do you build it? None of it actually matters if you can't set it up. So let's do that right now. And before you panic, you don't need to be a developer. You can copy and paste, you're qualified. Let's go. So you're going to want to set up a hosting account for this. This is a VPS system, so you can run this remote and you don't have to run it on your local laptop or desktop. It's much more secure. Once you are signed up for Hostinger, you want to set up your VPS. Now, this is the part where it gets real. We're actually setting up the server, your server, on the internet right now. Select the server closest to you. Then you want to use Ubuntu as your operating system. Ubuntu, not Windows, Mac, any other operating system. Trust me on this one, use Ubuntu. Now, I've chose daily auto backups. It helps me sleep at night. Anything happens on your system, you can just bring it back from a backup. Work smarter, not harder, people. Now, the $6.99 options, probably more than enough to test this out. I'm going to use the largest server though. No expense spared for my personal assistant. You want to choose a 12 or 24 month plan, then you get the savings in a free domain. Once you hit select, they get started on setting up your server. Phew, time for a coffee break. This right here, this is fuel. Don't skip this step. Okay, here we go. They give you two options. If you click Manage VPS, you can see everything about your server. They instantly hit you with a marketing questionnaire. Don't worry about that. Yeah, just skip through this. Click Save, and now we can see our server. Up here under Root Access, you can see the SSH command to connect to your server. Right next to that, you can change your password. Save your password somewhere safe. Here on the left, you've got your backups. If you ever get into trouble, this is what's going to save you. This right here is the oh no button in the best possible way. Obviously, it's empty right now as we just set up the server. So let's go to the terminal and try set this up. Right, now a neat little trick you want to do is to copy your public key so you don't have to enter the password every single time. Run SSH copy ID with your server's connection details. It'll prompt you for the password, and once that's done, you'll never have to enter it again. So we can just run the connection command now, SSH root at your IP, and we're in. That wasn't so bad, was it? So first things first, let's make sure this server's up to date. Type sudo apt get update. Always do this first, always. Now it's getting all the latest updates. Give it a minute to run through. See all that text flying by? That's your server doing its work. Now type sudo apt get upgrade -y, and this will update any out-of-date packages. Now you're up to date and you have the latest packages. Easy, right? Let's head over to Openclaw. If you scroll halfway down, you can see this command. Let's copy that and run it in the terminal. This is going to download Openclaw and run the install script for us. One command is going to do everything for us. Once that's done, it should open the onboarding process. Cool, right? You get this little Openclaw icon here in the heading. And then the important stuff. Don't just gloss over this. It's a security warning. Hey, don't you dare scroll past this. I'm serious. Read it, memorize it, commit it to memory. Basically, what it's saying is just run this thing with the least privilege as possible. Don't install every tool, skill, or package under the sun. Give it only what it needs to do its job. Think of it like hiring someone new. You don't want to give them keys to everything on day one. Once you've read this and you're happy, let's click yes. We want the express quick start version. Update values. Now, this is important. Choosing your model. This is the AI brains behind your assistant. This is the bit that makes it actually smart. I use Anthropic. It's just better at everything. But I know a lot of people are probably using ChatGPT. I'm not here to start a war. We're all friends here. Use what you want. Either way, it's the same process going forward. Select your model and select an API key. It will then ask you to paste your API key. If you search on Google for Anthropic API key, it will give you a link to Claude Console where you can create one. Once that's done, it's going to ask you to set up communication. You can use Telegram, WhatsApp, or a bunch of other different messaging apps here. But really, you want to use Discord for this. I'll show you why later. Trust me, use Discord. Once you select Discord, it will ask you for a bot token. If you've never set up Discord, you'll need to do that. You can download the app on your phone. You'll need that for daily communication. Once that's done, we will need to get the Discord bot token. If you search in Google for Discord developer, it's the first link that comes in. Click on that. You can see here, I set up Jarvis previously. Yeah, I've done this before, once or twice. Top right here, click new application and give it a name. I'll call this one Agent Jarvis. I know, not very original. I'm a tech guy, not a creative guy. Call yours Bob or whatever. Click create. Tell them you are human by clicking this box. You are human, right? Now, if you click on bot, you get this reset token here. That's what we need. Just reset it and copy it. Guard this with your life. Seriously, don't share it. Don't post it online. Don't even think about it too loudly. Watch out for scams. Take it and enter it into the terminal. Select the defaults here and here. Now you will want to go to Discord and create a server. Click here on add a server. Once that's set up, go back to the terminal and press enter on the latest command, web search. Now, web search, you have some good options here. I use Gemini because it's Google's flagship product and they're pretty good at web search, but I'd be interested to see how Grok works. So if someone uses that, let me know in the comments. I read all the comments. Seriously, drop a comment. I read most of them, sometimes. Anyway, select Gemini. It will ask you for another API key. I know, more API keys. Just keep going. You're almost there. Go ahead and set that up and then enter it here. Now we get to the interesting part. Skills. Remember, only install what you need. Here's some I like. Gemini CLI for one-shot Q&A. I ask a lot of questions. Claw Hub for installing more skills. GitHub, that's version management. Do you want to keep different versions of the software you build with this? Well worth having. Google Workspace, also good if you use Google's tools like Gmail and stuff like that. You know, all the good stuff businesses run on. You get the point. You can check the rest out for yourself. This is just a small list of what's possible. There's a huge list of skills you can add. That rabbit hole goes deep. And that's a whole other video. Once it's installed your skills, it shows you a command to install Homebrew. A lot of dependencies use Homebrew to install and update. I guess the guy that built this was using a Mac. Now I flopped it here. When I was doing this, I didn't run that command. Don't be like me. You should install Homebrew before running the next command. Do it in the right order and learn from my pay. Anyway, I can fix that later. For Node Manager, I use NPM. Now you'll see why you need Homebrew. All the skills we selected earlier, they all failed to install here. They'll then ask you for a bunch more API keys for the skills you install. Go ahead and paste those in. Next up is hooks, and this is important. It's how it stores memory. I install all of them because it's essential for this to run. Track issues and log command. And that's it. Once you've done that, you'll see the reset gateway command run. Now, this is where it gets really interesting. This might take up some of your time. Openclaw starts to interview on how you want him to act, what your goals are. Keep it pretty simple, answering top level questions for now. What's your goals and how do you want him to act and interact with you? How often do you want him to check in? This is the part where you get to build your assistant. your way. How cool is that? Once he starts to dig down, I asked him to focus on getting Discord set up so we could communicate there. If we go back over to that Discord application we set up earlier, we need to give the bot some permissions. If you click on bot on the left scroll down, you want to get under bot permissions, we want to give him access, send messages in threads, view channels, and read message history. And you see these 3 intent switches here? You want to turn those on. Next, you see this URL here? We need to take that and put it into the browser. You can get the app ID from the browser URL here. And bam, you should see him go green. Let's try send him a message. Jarvis, are you there? Damn it, we need to send him a pairing code. Copy this at the bottom and just paste that into the terminal we're in. He will set it up for you. Jarvis? There we go, he's online and he's even answering me back already. How cheeky. He's live, we did it, he's actually alive. Now, just for sanity purposes, we want to make sure this is locked down. Go to server settings here and select access. Unset allow users to join your activity in this server and make sure it's an invite only server. Otherwise anyone can join. Start giving your assistant tasks. Now you can set up Clawbot with WhatsApp, Telegram, Discord, but really the best setup is with Discord. With Discord, I've got several channels set up based on specific goals. Clawbot then interacts with me on each channel and on each specific task. I can also set which models to use for each task, keeping the cost down. One of the things I was conscious of is spend, but with this setup, having different channels and tasks, I can set up and use different AI models for different tasks. So for basic tasks like lead generation for my business, where we are effectively just gathering data, I don't want it using an expensive model. But when it comes to my goals, improving my processes, answering customer or employee questions, I want him to use the best AI model available. Then I get the best possible outcomes. This is the most valuable use case for Clawbot and my favorite thing about it. So here's a look at my running costs over the last couple of days. You can see this increasing as I'm giving it more responsibilities. That's doing my research, writing code, acting as my personal trainer, answering queries I have during the day, and helping me improve my processes. Compare that to the cost of one employee that can do one role across 8 hours a day, and it's a no-brainer. So the first thing I got Clawbot to do, the most basic task, but nonetheless important, was research. I asked Jarvis to research trending topics for our YouTube channel and give me an estimated cost to run the task once he'd finished planning his ads. Jarvis set up a script that checks my competitors, finds trending terms, and judges the difficulty using various different data sources. He got it down to 10 to 20 cents a day. So now for $3 to $6 a month, I get a report on my competitors, the terms they're creating content for, how difficult it is to create content for that term, putting me 5 steps ahead. Now I asked Jarvis to go 1 step further and to help us find leads, customers that were struggling with issues relevant to my business. Within another 5 minutes, I had a new channel and task set up. Now compare that to an employee. You need to go through a lengthy training process, track and monitor the results, use a rewards-based system to enhance productivity. It would take them an hour or 2 with AI code to set that up. We'd have back and forth to review the results. Project manager might need to get involved. Maybe they take a lunch break while we're doing it. And now it's the afternoon before I've even got started. Or you could pay hundreds of dollars in SaaS subscriptions to effectively get the same data without the daily reporting and not specific to your business. Research is useful, but let me show you where this gets really interesting. What if Jarvis could actually help you achieve your goal? Build a business, lose 10 pounds, or run a marathon? Here's what I asked him to do. Track 14 of my goals across different categories, different timelines, daily, weekly, monthly, all with different success metrics for each one. And that's not a simple task. Most people can't even do that for themselves. So we started simple, just tracking numbers. Did I hit the gym 5 times a week? Did I publish 4 pieces of content? Basic tracking. Then I asked Jarvis to improve the process. He went away and built a full dashboard, goal tracking, success metrics, progress reminders, and even a weekly review meeting. He interviews me. What's working? What's blocking me? What needs to change? Then he updates his own processes based on them. This is the part that surprised me. I didn't ask him to do that. It's a directive baked into his agents file. An agents file is a set of standing instructions that tells him exactly how to approach every task. It's his defaults, his standards, and his memory. So you never have to tell him twice. He learns, he adapts, and he runs things exactly the way you would. Now I have to be honest with you, this isn't perfect. He stalled, he hit API rate limits. There were some teething issues initially when we were getting set up, but that's the point. You measure, you improve, and week by week so does he. If you've ever worked with a proactive employee, as opposed to someone who's just there to clock in, do the bare minimum, someone who makes your life easier, you'll know exactly what a difference that makes. And that's how I would sum this up. It's early days yet, I'm probably only just scratching the surface of its full capability. I'm starting to increase his capabilities, and I'm giving him more responsibility when it comes to managing and growing my business. So if you want to see more videos on how that goes, make sure to smash the subscribe button. Now go out and try this. I'm sure you'll be amazed at how useful this is, and I'll see you in the next one.